Del Instituto Weitzman, queridos alumnos y maestros. Cada día que pasa se presentan nuevos desafíos para los seres humanos, entre ellos la relación que tenemos con el medio ambiente y con los recursos naturales. Desafortunadamente hemos abusado de los dones recibidos y el día de hoy necesitamos pensar de manera diferente para enfrentar los grandes retos que se avecinan. Ustedes jóvenes están por elegir una carrera y su responsabilidad a futuro es hacer de este un mundo mejor. El día de hoy nos sentimos honrados con la presencia del profesor David Kahen, quien gracias a su visión e interés por dar a conocer nuevos caminos para enfrentar estos grandes desafíos, podemos pensar en caminos alternativos. Damos la palabra al señor Mauricio Gerson, quien presentará al profesor Kahen.
Buenos días. Queremos agradecer a la doctora Hila Pinto, a la licenciada Adela Charabati, a la profesora Lina López Valle, que nos ayudaron, nos invitaron a hacer esta presentación con ustedes. El profesor David Kahen es una de las personas más importantes en el Instituto Weitzman. Él estudia la física y la química de los materiales electrónicos en general. Y le ha llamado la atención específicamente por esto las células solares y se ha dedicado a buscar lo que es la energía sustentable. Es sobre esto, sobre lo que él va a hablar. Actualmente se usa mucha energía, es lo que mueve al mundo, pero nada más la gastamos y se va a acabar. Oyen ustedes de México, ¿cuánto petróleo queda? Y después, ¿qué va a pasar cuando se acabe el petróleo? ¿Qué es lo que va a mover al mundo?
Which naturally is strongly influenced by the fact that I was born in Holland, which gives one an accent that one never gets rid of, and have lived for over 40 years in Israel. I'm going to talk to you about the twosome, the couple of energy and sustainability. I'm going to focus on energy because I'm going to try to convince you that the two cannot be separated. Now, I will try also to go very slow so that you can understand. All the slides have been translated into Spanish by Spanish speakers. I've gone over them. I've tried from time to time to correct using Google Translate, so there may be some funny things. So I claim that energy is the global challenge. I do not like to call it the problem, but the challenge. And I understand challenge in Spanish is reto. Now we have to jump. The next thing is water. And then water is an issue that naturally in Israel is extremely crucial. Also in Mexico, at least in Mexico City, I learned. Israel is probably number 2 in the world in recycling, reusing its water. Number 1 is Singapore. You may have seen pictures of a Singaporean prime minister drinking water to convince the population that even water that was purified from sewage, what comes out of the toilet, can be drunk. And so Singapore is recycling 99% of its water. However, and then there's food, and we know that food is a crucial issue, even though most of us may never have experienced poverty. 2.5 billion people in the world are thought to be or continuously or from time to time hungry. And then there's energy. Now, energy is not just there. Energy encompasses everything. If you give me energy, I can solve most of the other problems. I cannot solve the energy problem by solving the others. Only one way. So, why is it the challenge of the world? Because if we want to live our life the way we would like to live, sustainably, that is an unprecedented challenge. Mankind has actually never experienced it before. And I'll give you 3 reasons for that. So stick with me. The reasons will appear at the very top. So first, energy determines the sustainability of resources. Let us take an example. There are certain minerals that we need badly for some of our modern life. At the moment, they are mainly mined in China, in the People's Republic of China, and at one point, the People's Republic decided that they didn't want to export it. The world became very worried. What to do? If we had enough energy, we could easily mine it in many other places in the world. And now, as the need has risen, indeed in Australia and in the United States, these materials, so-called rare earth, are being again mined outside the People's Republic of China. Water, Israel is one of the major powers in terms of desalination, getting water from the sea, water to drink and water to grow things. The other countries are the Arab countries, because they don't have, like Israel, natural sources of water. However, desalination takes energy. If you give me energy, I can take care of 80% of the world population's needs of water directly. Because 80% of the world's population lives within a few hundred kilometers of the sea. And then there's food. Maybe you don't know, but the reason that we are not hungry is because of energy. Because I calculated that there wasn't enough. Then, in the early part of the 20th century, a scientist, Fritz Haber, a Jewish scientist from Germany who had become converted to Christianity in order to make a career, found a way that we can make fertilizer artificially. And that is why we have food today. There were other revolutions which have to do with the science of genetics. Then there is health. Now, we do a lot of research and development in health. And when you go to the pharmacy, you have lots of choices of what you can buy. The doctor can prescribe many things to you. If we don't have energy, we cannot make those medicines. Poverty. Not that clear, but yes. If energy is cheap everywhere, then the poverty, in principle, can be decreased in the world. Although you have to be aware of Gandhi's famous saying, and I do not know it in Spanish, which is that our world has enough for everyone's need, but not for everyone's greed. And education and security naturally are not connected to energy, and I should be honest, the main problem that we have today is the population. The world population has been growing because of our improved hygiene and health. And to some extent, the recent continuing increase has to do with cheap, affordable energy. So the two are connected. Now, what is energy? If you took a course in physics, then you should have been told that energy is the ability to do work. And then you will probably have learned this by heart and written it on the exam. What it exactly means is not so clear, and you will be surprised that in the community of scientists there are still arguments. But it's the kind of thing that we know when we have it, especially we know when we don't have it. To give you an easy way of figuring out whether you're talking about energy, your electricity bill is counted in units of energy. Your parents pay in kilowatt hours. That is a unit of energy. Now, units are very important because you and the general population are being bombarded with news where people will try to make their case, try to convince you that they're right. And one way to do that is to use units that you have no idea what they mean. I'll give you some examples. British thermal units, tons of oil equivalent, tons of coal equivalent, horsepower. All of these are units that are used, and it's hard to figure out what they mean if you're not an expert. So, in addition to energy, we have power, and the two are often confused. Power is the rate at which we use energy or at which we make energy. Making energy is a difficult thing to say. It means generating the type of energy we want. Now, it is measured in units of watts, not watt hours.